I'm Ed Rutan. I've been a member of the board of directors of the Gun Violence Prevention Center for 5 or 6 years now, and I'd like to talk to you about what brought me to the GVPC and some of the reasons why I continue to stay actively involved. The Utah legislature has been way out of line in trying to strike a proper balance between public safety and the rights under the Second Amendment. And I felt that it was important to advocate before the legislature for a reasonable balance between public safety and gun violence. I have an adult son who suffers from mental illness. He's doing fine now, but there was a time several years ago when he went off his medications and he had a psychotic break. Those of you who are familiar with mental illness know how scary that can be when a family member gets into that sort of situation. He was living in an apartment, and one night, around 11 o'clock or so, he heard voices in the hall that were saying that they were going to kill him. And as a result of that, he ran out the back door. This is 11 o'clock at night, dark. So in running around the neighborhood, he found a house. He went around to the back of the house and threw a chair through the porch window. The owner of the home came down the stairs with a firearm. That person could have fired at my son because my son had broken the window and entered into the house. Fortunately, the person who had the firearm realized that this was not a break-in. This was not any situation in which he was physically in danger. He could tell that my son was in the midst of a psychotic break and was not behaving rationally. So he did not fire. He stand your ground. He could have fired without asking any questions, without feeling that he was in any danger whatsoever. He could have fired and taken my son's life. Stand your ground has been proven nationwide to cause more deaths than to save lives. It's a dangerous doctrine. It's one that the American Bar Association has recommended that states should repeal, in part because it's been shown to be racially discriminatory, that far more people of color die in these instances than white Americans. It's discriminatory and it's dangerous. A person who legally possesses a firearm does not possess the right to be a jury and decide whether a person is guilty and should die or not. I believe strongly that stand your ground should be repealed in Utah. No one has ever shown that it has had a positive impact in our state. Hope you get interested in the Gun Violence Prevention Center. We're a very active group. You'll see us up on the Hill during the next legislative session, just like we've been during the preceding legislations. We'll be there doing our best to work towards a reasonable balance between rights of gun owners under the Second Amendment and public safety. And there is a reasonable balance that can be struck. We just need to get the legislature to do it. Thank you for your attention.